Howdy friends, I hope you're all doing well. So with the honor system and battlegrounds now in full effect, PvP is as prevalent as ever, and frankly it's been a blast, and I can't think of a better time to revisit PvP as a druid. A while back I made a guide on how to 1v1 against every class as a druid. This was before Classic officially released, so some of the data was based on private server information. Now fortunately I've had time to play the official servers, gear up my druid, and I can say that with absolute certainty, druids are in a great place for PvP. After a week of doing back-to-back Alterac Valley, Warsong Gulch, and World PvP, I would not re-roll another class if I was paid to, and I want to explain why druids are doing so well. I see a lot of people proliferating the rumor that druids are an ineffective class because we don't do great in any one role. We aren't top heals, we aren't top DPS, and we aren't top picks for tanks. So this has led many to believe that anyone would be better off picking a class that actually excels at a niche role. Well, as someone who's been playing a druid exclusively, seriously, I urge you to please continue spreading this rumor. I love seeing so few druids in raids. I love having less competition on gear, and I love how unfamiliar other players are fighting druids. Like, I still see mages trying to polymorph me in PvP. In fact, the other day I fought a rogue who equipped a gnomish mind control cap, thinking he was going to get a mind control off on me in a battle. Heads up, you can't mind control a druid that's in shapeshift form because mind control only works on humanoids. So help your fellow druids out, continue spreading the idea that we are a garbage class. If this wasn't my own channel, I'd probably be telling you the same thing right now. But in all seriousness, I have absolutely loved being a druid. It's no secret that we're the best flag runners in the game. There isn't even a second place when it comes to carrying flags. We excel in Warsong Gulch just because nobody can catch us. But we also do well in Alterac Valley for a variety of reasons. See, Alterac Valley is a battleground that has players constantly shifting roles. One minute you're in a raid smashing against the opposite faction, the next you're tanking a mob inside of a tower. Now name one class that's better equipped to switch roles as quickly as AV requires. For example, in a single game, I have found myself healing the raid, doing DPS from atop one of the towers by casting down on enemies, sneaking past enemy lines to cap a graveyard, and then finally tanking the last leader to finish the game. No other class is able to fill all those roles. It's something only druids can do. So here are some tips and tricks that I found can help you be more effective as a druid in battlegrounds. I know it can be tempting to try and build your character like a rogue by just stacking DPS stats, but I found that when I do this, I fail miserably in PvP because I never have enough mana to do anything. A druid's strength is in their ability to constantly shift roles, and that can take a toll on your mana. When fighting any class, I'm always shifting in and out of druid form to heal, I'm switching to bear form to stun, I'm switching to cat form to do DPS. You're constantly needing to do that. That's why my favorite spec is the Heart of the Wild Nature Swiftness build. This helps your animal forms really pack a punch by building feral talents, but it also gives you Heart of the Wild, which is my favorite talent in the game. This increases your intellect and therefore your mana. It also gives you extra stamina in bear form and extra strength in cat form. So this is my go-to spec for any druid. And with this spec, you can literally do anything you want, and you can do it well. The Heart of the Wild spec is also incredibly valuable for Alterac Valley because it has an emphasis on bear talents like threat generation. You'll need this for tanking any of the bosses. It's also nice to have the improved stealth for slipping past enemy forces. You also get Nature Swiftness with this build, which is an invaluable ability, both in offensive and defensive. I'll go a little bit more about this later, but trust me, it's a valuable one. That's why I recommend Heart of the Wild for any PvP spec, though there is one exception. So if you plan to go all in as a flag carrier, you can use a build that's the 8-11-32 build. This lets you grab the natural shapeshifter talents, which reduces the mana cost of your shapeshifting, which you will be doing a lot of to shrug off enemy slows, because if you're not familiar with druids, when you shapeshift, it removes all slows and root effects. So when you've got people trying to constantly slow you down, you're going to need to do it a lot. This build also gets Feral Charge, which you can use to root enemies, but it can also be used as a bit of a speed boost to get away if your target's in the right place. You will do this a lot. Finally, it grabs a lot of spells in the Restoration tree, like Nature's Grace and Swiftmin. So Swiftmin is valuable as an oh snap ability to boost your health. I also like this build because it includes Nature's Swiftness. As I said before, this is one of the most versatile abilities in the game. See, Nature's Swiftness makes your next nature ability an instant cast. Generally, you'll want to use this to cast Healing Touch for yourself, which is usually going to be enough to fully heal you. So if you're in danger, your health's low, you can just hit a macro and boom, instantly boost yourself to 90%. But you can even use it to instant cast like an Entangling Roots or even a Hibernate. So I've caught many Druid flag carriers by instant casting a 10-second sleep on them that they can't shift out of. It's a lot of fun, and this ability has a lot of uses. Most people refer to this spec as the Flag Runner spec, but the one downside to this one is that it's very specific, it's very niche, but it isn't as flexible as the Heart of the Wild spec that I mentioned earlier. It doesn't have as much mana or as much power in your animal forms. Finally, as far as gear goes, you want to build gear that gives intellect and stamina for PvP. Thankfully, the tier and dungeon sets will give you plenty of that, so gear's not hard to figure out, but something you will absolutely want to pick up is 3 pieces of the PvP gear. These aren't very valuable because of their stats, but because of the possible 3-set bonus that the PvP sets give. The bonus they give you if you have 3 pieces is a 15% increased movement speed outdoors in all of your forms. That means stacked with movement speed enhance of your boots, your dash and cat form with feline swiftness will give you an 84% movement speed increase, which is almost as fast as an epic mount, and it's definitely faster than a regular mount. It also gives you a flat 61% movement speed increase to your travel form, which makes you a tiny bit faster than a regular mount. This will make you an absolute broken flag carrier. Seriously, nobody will be able to catch you. Even more so if you get the epic PvP gear, which gives you the same 3-set bonus, but just has better stats. But in order to get this, you'll need to be at least PvP rank 8 to get 3 pieces, so you'll have to work up to it. But that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks. Druids are incredible in Battlegrounds. I'll even be a little bold here and say that, in my opinion, they're the best class you can have because they can fill any of the roles that Battlegrounds constantly shift to. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, or if you're someone that just enjoys thrilling tales of adventure, you might be interested to know that I have my own novel. It's called The Court of Bu, and it's available on Amazon. The link for it's available in the description below. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I will see you guys next time.